What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Jered, Big Baby Anderson. Jered Anderson on Charles Martin. He said, I would have stopped him if I could have. Wow. Um, Jered Anderson said, I definitely didn't expect him to go anywhere, said Anderson to a group of reporters. A win is a win, but scoring eye-catching knockouts is what Anderson has built his name on in a short amount of time. Now, knowing what it's like to push his body past its breaking point and dig deep was a plus, according to Anderson. And this is what he had to say. He said, I would have stopped him if I could have. I didn't get the stoppage, and I'm more than okay with that. And let me counterpunch. This is actually different from what he said right after the fight. Because you guys can remember, he said, my whole game plan and my intention was to go the distance. But now he's saying, I would have stopped them if I could have. I didn't get the stoppage, and I'm okay with that. Now, I think that's more realistic. I think that's more of a real statement. I think he took his time and he thought about it like, hey, I didn't expect him to be that tough, or I didn't see him going anywhere. So I think he gave more credit to Charles Martin. But understand, it's all about growing up. You know, you don't make excuses, because I think, honestly, he made an excuse right after the fight. Then he thought about it like, hey, I tried to get him out. I just couldn't. And it is okay. You know, and it shows that he respects that his opponent, the former IBF champion, Charles Martin, did what he had to do. He had somewhat of a Chris Arreola / Andy Ruiz type fight. And, you know, you got to take your hat off to him. And he took that fight 11 days notice. So you have to put that in that pot, right? So, you know, Jered Anderson is showing that he's growing, he's maturing. And even though, you know, he doesn't have bombs over Baghdad, he's still one hell of a fighter. You know, and there's nothing wrong with saying what I tried to do and couldn't do. Because I know he was looking for the knockout. I think best case scenario, being 14-0 with 14 KOs, you want to continue that. You want to continue that same thing. That's what you're used to. That's all you've done. You've stopped people. So you can't tell me that Jered Anderson didn't expect a knockout. He wanted one. He just couldn't get one. And I think more importantly, he was real. He was real to himself, and he was real to the public. Because, you know, that brash ego, oh man, this happened or that happened, I could have done this, I had this going on. That's not where it is. You know, and I like Jered Anderson as a fighter. I think he has a lot to learn. We've learned that he's not that knockout guy. He's just a beautiful combination fighter. And he's going to have some challenges when he keeps moving up in opposition. So, Jered Anderson, I think, if anything, he's showing who he truly is. You know, it goes back to that conversation with Roy Jones, right? He could have tried to, you know, brush that off, but he really needed help. And a lot of times, your ego will have you in denial. He was not in denial. He was like, listen, this is pressure on me. I'm 23 years old. You're a legend. Please help me. And Roy Jones not only helped him, he motivated him. You know, so it was good, you know. But again, if it wasn't for Jered Anderson being a real person and just sharing his raw, true emotions on what's going on in his life, you know, he wouldn't have got that blessing from being motivated. And I think Roy Jones helped him, you know, a lot more than you know, because a lot of times these fighters need someone to talk to. You know, these fighters need that guy, that mentor in their life. You know, they need to vent. They need answers. Because he's 23 years old. I've been 23 before, and I needed them too. You know, so fair play to Jered Anderson on him not getting the knockout because he couldn't. You guys tell me what you think. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.